I was going to make jokes about AT's plagiarism, but after JYP not only took an old Wonder Girls concept that nobody liked and revived it, and didn't give me my Mixx Pop, I have bigger fish to fry. Hi, welcome. My name is Angelina, and today we're here to review Nmixx's highly anticipated question mark, Love Me Like This. Not to be confused with Wonder Girls Like This, though unfortunately, they're giving off the same vibes to me. I don't know. Is it just me? So join me as we potentially beef with AT stans, possibly get torn to shreds for even liking Nmixx music to begin with. That is if I even get my Mixx Pop from this title track. Spoiler alert, Angelina did not get her Mixx Pop from this title track. So Love Me Like This is the title track of their first EP, Expérgo. However, we did get a pre-release track titled Young, Dumb, Stupid, which it was. A lot of you guys are probably agreeing with that statement, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. I really didn't mind the song. I'm gonna be honest, I did stream it a little bit. I even posted it on Instagram being like, this makes me so excited for the 20th. Like I wasn't expecting a music video that day. Then we got the music video and the comments were just like, what is this? What is this sample? Why are they sampling a nursery rhyme? A lot of you guys were calling it Brother John. I was like, Brother John? I've always known the song as Frère Jacques. Frère Jacques, Frère Jacques, dormez-vous? Ding, ding, dong. So Young, Dumb, Stupid obviously samples the song or interpolation. I don't even know. You get the gist. Young, dumb, stupid, but who cares? But who cares? It can be up, so do whatever we want. Ding, dang, dong. Now, the original English lyrics go, are you sleeping? Are you sleeping, Brother John? Morning bells are ringing. All that childish nonsense to say. People just thought it was weird. You know, it was off-putting, it was weird, but I kind of like that. That's what I like about Nmixx. The fact that their songs are so ostracizing. You know, that was definitely the allure to it. And because they didn't doing a proper Nmixx change-up, which I don't think they generally do with their B-sides anyways, right? At least we got a chorus that was messy as hell. And now I kind of understand why the B-side was so messy after seeing Love Me Like This. But we'll get into it. Don't worry. We're getting to it. So at the end of the day, I wasn't entirely mad at it, but it did make me a little stressed out that they might check it out for the title track. But I was holding on to all the hope that I had, okay? I was holding on. I was... But Young, Dumb, Stupid, yeah, was a song that I casually enjoyed, and I'm not afraid to say it. Much like Teddy Bear by Stacey, it's one of those songs that I feel doesn't have the longest shelf life. Like, you listen to it a couple times, but more than that, not so much, you know? I just didn't think it really had a lot of longevity. I mean, the fact that I liked it at all is probably beyond a lot of you, but I was... an Nmixx fan, and you know, liking OO and Dice is already a chore on its own because you constantly have to defend yourself to people who just don't get it. And that's fine. It's a lonely existence, and I have plenty of room in my comment section for us to fight about this. Though, I think we'll be fighting for different reasons for Love Me Like This. But genuinely, Young, Dumb, Stupid, much like its name implied, gave me a nice little youthful and unserious boost for the day with a perfectly pink storyline-less music video until it gave me the ick. It was fresh and messy and in your face and gave me hope for an even over-the-top, busier title track. So without further ado, let's finally share my thoughts on Love Me Like This and if it fulfilled my Mixx Pop fantasies. We start off the music video with the members being awoken from their made-up and perfectly clothed slumber before we go straight into choreography, and that's basically the music video. I was surprised at how simple it was, though admittedly it did really fit the song. I mean, it's no surprise that the music video was heavily dance-based. Most 4th gen music videos are. Storyline, nowhere to be found. But we're not judging here. We do get some cute scenes, however, like the melting ice cream, the furry fridge, the flower-covered race car. This scene that oddly reminds me of The Wizard of Oz. You know, like the dog in the center is the lion. They're wearing some hats. I don't know. Figure it out. And lastly, this magical glowing jar that revealed many a nautical animal. Otherwise, the music video was oddly simple, which of course fits with the song, this new Nmixx, which is this. But in comparison to what I remember OO being or even Dice being, I feel like it was very, very much toned down. The toning down that JYP did for Nmixx for this comeback is astronomical. If people were put off by Nmixx in the past, here you go. I don't know. Which on that note, let's discuss the whale in the room. Not me, you bullies. But the song was very simple. So simple. It did not feature 6 songs mashed up into one whole mess. In fact, I would say that it was almost borderline boring. And okay, listen, if that's the tactic, I totally get it. We're just coming off of a song like Dice, which I really liked Dice. A year later. But we're coming off of these super busy songs that feature sounds that were very ostracizing to people and not everyone was on board with. So of course, if you're coming off that roller coaster and suddenly you hear a song like Love Me Like This, in comparison, it inevitably is going to sound better. But does it sound good is the question. I don't know that I love it, to be honest. However, I am also acknowledging the fact that this is probably a very wise business move. I love OO. I love Dice. I love the fact that these songs are so busy and make no sense, but they're perfect in their own way. Mixx Pop, unfortunately, is just not the time for Mixx Pop. Maybe in the future we'll be ready for Mixx Pop, but it's the timing was just really off. JYP isn't stupid. Well, to start off with, you could ask a couple people if hey, should we do Mixx Pop? No, I don't think audiences will like that worldwide. I feel like that could have been a conversation that prevented a lot of this, but I digress. When a company is seeing that their group isn't succeeding as much as it could, that their songs aren't charting as best as it could, that people are not loving the music as much as they could, of course the company is going to want to change, not to please the fans. Because if money is being raked in, who gives a shit, right? Like that's how Blackpink get away with never releasing anything. So for Nmixx, I'm not going to lie, even though I did end up loving their sound, a year later, that's a bit too long to expect everyone to come around to liking somebody's music. So if you see that your music is ostracizing audiences globally, you're going to want to change that because that is not going to line your pockets. So of course, it's not surprising that this song is so smooth and cohesive. But as somebody who's literally just made a video about how I'm in love with Nmixx's sound, as someone who's just made this transition in life, I'm a little appalled by what I just heard. It's all jokes. Take this with a grain of salt. But I really was hoping for something off-putting. I was really excited for this Mixx Pop experience that I've just dived into. And I do think it's a little weird to debut with this Mixx Pop sound as your concept. That's literally what their concept is. And Mixx Pop, they're going to mix shit together, and that it is what it is. So it is definitely weird to debut with such a concept, to garner fans with that concept, even though some fans who love Nmixx don't necessarily love their sound, and then to kind of backtrack on it, even though it makes perfect sense. It's a little weird, but it makes sense, right? We're all under the understanding that this is just for the best of the group. It's just to help propel them forward, though I don't particularly love this sound. It does feel a little outdated. It does feel like they took the Wonder Girls Like This, revived it a little bit, and here we have Love Me Like This. And I know silly little K-pop sounds like to call me a misogynist when I say JYP don't know what they're doing with their groups. They don't have a specific direction for their girl groups. People are like, why don't you say that for boy groups? I'm sorry. Who do you think you're watching right now? What boy groups am I listening to? I have a whole rant about that in an upcoming video, so please anticipate it. But yeah, it is a little disheartening, I'm not gonna lie. I was really excited for some weird shit to come out today. But it is what it is. I just genuinely feel like JYP Entertainment as a company are just a little bit everywhere with what they want to do with their groups. And this applies to ITZY, it applies to Twice, it applies to Nmixx. Stray Kids seem pretty consistent with their concepts, though Case 143, another example. Oh no, I just brought a boy group into this. I'm gonna... And I know it might be polarizing as well to finally have a normal Nmixx song and complain about it regardless. Because for how long now have people just been clowning on OO and Dice? Me included. I was doing a lot of clowning. But I eventually got it. At the end of the day, if it takes on average almost a year for someone to finally come around to liking the sound of a group, it's not sustainable. It's not going to be sustainable. So, we can't fault Nmixx. I mean, we can. I am. We can't fault JYP for wanting to go a more quote unquote normal direction. Because at the end of the day, they want to make money. They don't want to ostracize their fans, even though even though it just felt really fresh and fun, you know? They were going against the grain. Everyone hated their sound. I could appreciate that. I could stand behind that. That's bold as shit. But I get it. And thusly, we're presented with a song like Love Me Like This, which, as my friend Vanessa described, is giving a little High School Musical, even though I've never actually seen High School Musical, but I need it for the thumbnail. So in honor of me being sad that we didn't get an Nmixx change-up, I myself am going to make my own Nmixx change-up. Let's do it. In my last Nmixx video, I said they should do like a title track, and then the B-sides would be all the full songs within the title track. So let's just do it. Let's just try something. I'm no Mando, but we can try. So those are basically my thoughts on this song. I'm not a huge fan of it, and that's in comparison to the precedent they set before. Now, if this was just a regular schmegular group, this wasn't Nmixx. Let's say I don't know whose song this is and I just hear it. I would just think it exists. Like, okay, it exists. And that's where I feel like JYP don't know what they're doing with their groups, because either you want something memorable or you don't. How are you switching so drastically between the two? Do groups absolutely have to stick with the same concept? They don't. But when they don't, fans feel a certain way. Upcoming video, again, please anticipate it. But anyways, those are my thoughts on the song. So let's take a look at some of the comments. I'm curious what you guys think. I feel like everyone's gonna be like, no, it's amazing. Oh my God. Compared to OO and Dice, this is so great, which is fine. You guys are totally allowed to have your opinions. I'm just always here with like the worst fucking takes. Just watch. People are gonna be like, everyone complained and bullied us for liking their crazy concept, and now that they do something normal, you guys complain and no one's ever happy. Thus, that's the world. That's literally, you just described how the world works. I know somebody actually probably is going to write that. I'm not trying to be mean, but that literally is the world. That is the world as we know it. I honestly loved it from first listen. It's the type of song I would expect from Nmixx since the beginning. It keeps their idea of mixing genres, but is not so abrupt. It allowed all members to shine. Definitely their best song yet. I love Young Dumb Stupid too. Interesting. As a huge fan of their concept, I'm disappointed at the fact that they didn't mix it up, but nonetheless, this is a great song. I also heard a lot of lines that would have suited Jennie. Ooh, 20 likes on that. So I guess I'm not the only one who's here like, where's my Mixx Pop? Ooh, never would I imagine liking something from Nmixx because I absolutely hated OO, and Dice was alright for me, but Love Me Like This became the first song I genuinely love from them. The chorus is very addicting, and the instrumentals were such a turn on for me. There wasn't a change up like their previous two releases, and I honestly kind of prefer it that way because the song doesn't sound so clunky or just borderline awful. I quite love this song very much. That's exactly what I was predicting, right? Like, this isn't as, I keep using the word ostracizing, but it's true. Like, people can come to this Nmixx song and be like, oh, I don't want to rip my ears off. I was honestly waiting for that change up like they did in OO and Dice, thinking they will stick with the Nmixx Pop till the end, but they didn't, so I was quite surprised. This song is probably my fave title track from them. The chorus is super catchy, and I also love the outfits this comeback as well. I don't know if they're going to leave this whole Nmixx Pop behind and start anew, or we'll still have some mixing in the future, but I kind of like the new direction JYP had for this comeback. I know some of the fans that actually enjoys the switch up in OO and Dice will probably be disappointed for going a more predictable, simpler song structure, but I think the decision to have less experimental title track is best for Nmixx at the moment. 1000% agree. They still have time to develop their own sound and discography since they just debuted last year. Yeah, I loved it from first listen. It's definitely a song I can listen to regularly. I don't think it is a departure from their iconic Mixx sound. Rather, it is still there, granted in a much milder sense. I do not see it at all. She's gone. I don't know where she is. But this time around, the vocals supplement the beat change. I also think it sounds quite similar to SM songs. It was a very good comeback. I'm hoping they get their first music show win. They didn't win any music shows yet. I really hope so too. I feel like Dice at least deserved it, but again, like, that's what I mean. Like, we can sit here and be mad about not having our Mixx Pop anymore, which I will mourn forever. But also, a lot of people didn't like it, and I get that. Honestly, I was waiting for the Nmixx, but I'm not even mad. This is their best comeback. Song is so good and catchy. I like it, question mark. The beat they use is probably one of the few they could play around with without making too all over the place. It really makes their vocals shine. Hopefully they stick with this for future comebacks. I do agree. If anything about the song, what it might lack in something in, I don't know how to explain that. What it might lack, it makes up for with the vocals. Vocals are top tier. I'm kind of worried their loyal fan base will turn away from them because of the concept change, except that the whole EP is so fine. We'll enjoy their promotion so much. You know, there's people like me who might stray away from them if this is the direction they go. But like, you can't count on people like me. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, K-pop stans, I feel like there are Nmixx stans, answers who probably didn't really love the sound to begin with, who stand anyways. They've been standing them since before they even could hear a song by Nmixx. I wouldn't worry about like the loyal fan base moving away from them. Do you know what I mean? Because if you like really love a group, from what I've witnessed, at least, you're more likely to just stick around anyways. Like, you've put your effort into the standing business. So I understand what you mean. I try to stick around a little bit, even though a group might have changed their sound, in case it kind of comes back, but I do find myself drifting away from some groups because their sound just isn't what I like anymore. And you don't I don't know where I'm going with this. Oh, this is their first song of theirs that I could see myself not skipping. The mixing is much better and the whole song sounds cohesive. I also enjoyed the vocals more, even though I still don't like Lily's parts. No hate, I just want to hear something other than yell singing. Fair enough. Overall, I think the talent's shone brighter this time. Could JYP be listening to feedback? Yeah, a little too much if you ask me. Wow. Oh my God. Everybody really loves it. I'm happy for them. Honestly, happy for them. Even though I'm dying inside. Oh, okay. I'm trying to look for somebody who like understands. I see now. Where the light's coming from my desk. As someone who really liked their Mixx Pop change concept, kind of sad they didn't do it this time. Hope they didn't lose it just because of the haters, because that's what made the group unique. You have 4 likes. We're like in the minority, like nobody agrees with us. So yeah, that is basically it for this video. Don't forget to let me know in the comments down below what you think of this. Did you enjoy the Mixx Pop? Do you miss the Mixx Pop? Are you indifferent to the Mixx Pop? Are you absolutely heartbroken, never to be the same again? So thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video with friends you don't have. You can also join my channel members or my Patreon. As for me, I'm gonna get going, so I'll see you guys next time. Bye.